YouTube? It's me again, Russ, and gonna do a play-by-play on replacing the wheel bearing, the front passenger side wheel bearing in the G6. Now we're gonna go back in time for this video. This was recorded, I think like after the first week of my new job. And I was able to come in on my day off. I came in kind of late, not realizing the store was gonna close in a few hours. Like I had 3 hours to do this job, which should have been enough time.
And this car came from Pennsylvania. That's concerning.
Had the wheel bearing not been rusted in place.
Little rust on the shocks right there. This one's pretty rusty. Ugh. The rust belt. So yeah, a good way to check for a wheel bearing is, got the car on the rack here.
And you could do this with jack stands as well. I've had some videos here on the channel where I show you safely how to jack up your vehicle, put it on jack stands, and yeah, you can spin the front wheels to diagnose which wheel bearing's making the noise. When I drove this thing home from buying it, and on the test drive, it was pretty clear right away that it had a bad wheel bearing. That's part of why we got it so cheap, 2,500 bucks. These cars, about $7 grand is what they sell for in our Seattle area here. And that's not even in excellent condition, but in good condition, because they're a pretty rare car. They don't make them anymore, and this was the most economically budget price for a hardtop convertible of its time, and they're still pretty sought after. So we were excited, blessed, and grateful to get this car for the price we did, even with the bad wheel bearing and some of the issues.
Lowered it enough, put it in park, 1 foot on the brake, put it in drive, let off the brake, let it spin at idle. Checking for the wheel bearing. Kind of hear it. So this side sounds like that. And this side sounds like this. You can hear it. Yep. Needs a wheel bearing. And then when you're done, very important, put your foot on the brake as hard as you can. Put it back in park. Need a wheel bearing.
So hopefully you have an air compressor and an impact wrench, all right? That's gonna make your life a heck of a lot easier. Now you can do this with a breaker bar. I don't advise it, man. That nut gets really tight. You can use penetrating oil. I did, even with the impact wrench, but I have an air compressor in my shed. It's just good to have an air compressor and air tools when you need them. Because for this job, odds are, you're gonna need them.
All right, so quick brake inspection. Brakes don't look too bad. This inside run, nah, they're not too bad. I think I'm gonna run them. But this rotor looks almost new. Look how thick that sucker is. Now if I can get this done fast enough, I'll get both of them, but I have 3 hours. Clock in the wall says I got 3 hours in the shop here today. This is the most important problem with this vehicle right now, so I need some penetrating oil. Oh yeah, I'm gonna borrow this. That's the stuff right there.
That's the good news about this job, is it's a hub assembly. So those 3 bolts, you pull those out and the whole assembly, there's no pressing bearings or having to take the whole knuckle off, none of that. Just hub assembly makes it a lot easier.
13mm bolts. that come out the back. And with an extension, I did an extension on the other side, on the back side here, turn the wheel. But yeah, the extension is going to help you get on those bolts a lot easier. Now, getting this hub off, because it's like rusted on there, man. Oh yeah. The thing's freaking on there, man. Bring out the big guns, so to speak. Brush a little anti-seize in there. Just to help it out, in case I have to do this again soon. This will make my life a little easier. Feed this sensor through the notch over here. Line up my spline. Oh boy. There we go. Oh yeah. Beautiful.
See what I forgot there? That's right, the heat shield. I left the heat shield off. Not necessarily on purpose, right? But it's not necessary. It's heat shield, dust cover. I thought it might make the wheels look better too, you know, on the other side. You can't really tell the difference. If I was to do the job again, I probably would have put it back on, but it's not necessary. But it's a good idea to not forget your heat shield if you're doing this job, or leave it off. It's up to you, but it belongs on there for a reason, I suppose. Well, my wheels will probably get a lot more brake dust on them because I didn't put that back on.
Just gotta wiggle it around, get it in place, tighten her down. Just kind of line up your bolts. You can let your bolts kind of pull it in. Evenly way across. Get this thing to seat properly. All right, so yeah, going around in a circle to put these down and then torque them. But that's how you tighten it. You don't want to just tighten one side all the way and have it go in weird. And I should have this brake caliper on a hanger, so don't do that. Get a hanger for your brake caliper. Just crunch for time at this point. So yeah, once this is tightened down, all right, got the rotor back on, brake caliper. We're gonna Loctite these bolts. As my master tech said, you should Loctite these bolts, and I'm like, I've never done that before. I'm at a professional shop now, man. So, all right, so putting this puppy back together. I left off the heat shield, speaking of professional, because it's not really necessary. So my master tech said too. I mean, on somebody who's coming in paying for this job, we would do that, but this is like a heat shield thing. Keeps dust off the brakes, but I don't really plan on driving this thing like a race car anyway. They tend to last longer that way. So, pop the brake caliper back on, and put the wheel on and get out of here. 4 o'clock right there. Boom. All right, it's in here. All right, so I got it done, got it home. Still gonna need a serpentine belt, oil change, a few more things. Don't forget to subscribe, and why not watch another video? Stick around!